Okay, back on to getting our exterior walls done. So I would like you to change over from in your project browser to first floor plan. Excuse me, first floor, double click. Make sure that tab is there. I'm just going to X out of this other tab that I have up here so I don't get confused. That was just the title box that I was checking on there. So we're going to begin to do our exterior walls for the first floor plan. When I'm doing custom designs, sometimes I'll do it by hand, and I will do some sketching before I actually put it onto the computer. And sometimes I'll just start drawing and then I'll add my dimensions and I'll clean things up and get it to a good point. But we're working with a rectangle, so we know it is 32 feet deep and it is 60 feet wide. So you have your completed plans for reference. I have mine printed out in front of me here right now, and so hopefully you do as well too. So we're going to go over to the architecture tab and we're going to go to that wall. And I clicked on the arrow and you can see that there's a couple different options. We could do architecture, structural, or wall by face. So we're going to use the architectural so we can have these different residential based default exterior walls. And for now, what we're going to do is the generic 8-inch, and then we're going to go back and we're going to change things up. But I just want to get some walls on here. I want you to see on this top right here where the green is. So there's some different things that we can prepare for when we begin our drawing. Make sure that the chain is checked off so that way it'll be a continuous rectangle from each corner. I'm not having to start the wall over and over and over again. I could do an offset on here if I wanted to, but I don't need to. My location line I want to the finish face exterior. So when I dimension, I want to be on that exterior part of the stud. I want my I want my wall unconnected, so I don't want it connected to the second floor or the roof or anything. I just want to keep it unconnected for the moment. And for my height of the wall right here, I am going to put 9 feet. And then we can just hit enter, and then we have a 9-foot tall wall. Okay, so I'm in the command and I'm going to start drawing. I'm going to start at my lower left corner of the house in my mind, and I'm always going to work in a clock-like formation, right? You need to draw in a clockwise fashion so your walls will have the exterior side of the wall correctly positioned. You can also use the space bar as a toggle which side the exterior wall faces on, but if you get into the habit of doing it in the clock-like formation, everything will be fine. So just go ahead, start somewhere. Oh, come on. Start somewhere, and you can see I could actually put the dimensions in right now, or I can guesstimate, and then I can change my dimensions afterwards, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to draw real quick and come down, and then I'm going to close this out. It closed out because it made that connection. You can see right away that it actually put up some temp dimensions for me. And I also want to be able to have a dimension from here to here. So I'm going to ignore this dimension right now. Yes, I could change it, but I want to do the dimensions for both the width as well as the depth so we can change them. Now, I'm not worried about the exterior of the wall yet because we just used a generic 8-inch wall. If I had my brick option on or siding option on, I'd want to make sure that that's siding. Or if I see these little arrows, these blue arrows, that indicates that it's on the outside part. If this arrow is on the inside, that would mean this wall would need to be flipped. And all you do is click on that, that arrow. See? Boom. It just changed it. Change it. So the arrow is going to indicate the exterior part of the wall. So again, I'm going to get rid of these. Oh, another thing I wanted to point out is you can see these dots right here. These are moving the witness line. So that means this extension line, if I zoom into this corner, this extension line is actually coming to the center of the wall, isn't it? And when we do dimensions in the residential world, I want it to the exterior part of the stud. So what I could do is I could come over here and I could just click on that witness line and see, now it went out to the exterior. I can do it up here as well too, because I always want to make sure I'm on the exterior. This could really screw you up if you don't have that extension line on the exterior part of your wall. So let's just escape out of that for a second, and let's put some dimensions. Oops. Oh, I have not saved this project yet, so I need to save it. Where am I going to save it? Summer. I'm going to put this as Marvel Residence and save. All right, so let's put some dimensions on here. You're going to go to annotate, and I'm just going to do the align. Now, when I come over to the wall, you can see my arrow. Select references, then click an empty space to place the dimension. When I hover over the wall, the blue line is indicating that my extension line is going to come from the interior part of the wall. So what I want to do is hit the tab, and that's on the inside. If you could see that my wall is highlighted on the inside, hit it again, boom, that's where it goes. Same thing over here on this side. It's going to go to the center. I'm just going to hover over that, and I'm going to hit the oh shoot, I was supposed to do the wall, excuse me. See that? Exterior part. And I should be going to the other way. And then click. Don't forget all these clicks, right? You know, if you got a right click or a left click. Okay, so now I want to do the depth. So I want this top wall, but I'm going to hit the tab so I can get that outer part. And then I'm going to hit the tab again and again until I get the outer part, okay? And then I'm going to cancel out of there. And now I have my escape. Now I have my true dimensions in here. You can see that I have 64 up here and I have 33 down here. Oh my gosh, that's so small, isn't it? 64 and 33. So how are we going to change these dimensions? So an easy way to be able to do this. If I click on this top wall thinking I'm going to change this dimension, it's not going to happen, because look what happens over here. Something got highlighted. I have some temporary dimensions and doubled up and everything else. So the best way to remember this is if I want to change this dimension, if I want to change this wall, I need to move over 4 feet to get this dimension to 60. So always go to the opposite wall of what you want to dimension. So I'm going to click on that wall. Oh, where'd it go? And stinker. Okay, it went down bottom. So I'm going to click on that wall, and it gives me a temporary dimension here, but it should, there it goes. It should give me one there. So then I just have to click on my witness lines to get them to the outside. I guess I could have done it down below as well too. And then I'm going to hit 60 feet and enter. Now I did that opposite of what I should have done, so my bad. So I'm going to actually move that back. I need to move the right wall because I know I tell you guys a million times, always go in a clock-like formation. Yeah, I'm getting tongue-tied. It's a little bit late as I'm doing this video. All right, there we go. So I have that. I'm going to do my 60 feet, and there it is there. And then I want to get this to 32, so I'm going to click on this dimension, and it looks like those are both out to there. And so I can click right on that dimension, and it is 32, right? Yes, it is. Always got to check. All right, awesome. So there we have it. I have my exterior walls done. Now we're going to change. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything on my notes. Line. Okay, so changing the wall is super easy. You can click on the wall, and then you can click the shift button, and you can click no, maybe not the shift, control, there it is, control button on your keyboard, and that will highlight all of the walls. And then you can come over here to properties, because whatever you highlight is going to come up in your properties box. Just click on the properties box, and let's choose, we're going to do wood siding on a wood stud, because this is a farmhouse house-like style. So I think that would be nice to have the wood siding. We'll see what that looks like. So we just change that, and we're going to escape. And then down here at the bottom, on this command line, I want you to click on the visual style where the hidden is. Oh, not the hidden, excuse me. Wrong one. Sorry. Oh, silly me, to the left of it. Detail level, coarse, fine, medium. So if you go into the medium, it'll kind of highlight it a little bit, and it shows you that detail. So instead of our 8-inch generic, maybe concrete wall or what have you, now we actually have this 2x6 stud, which ends up being about 5.5 inches. We have a 1/2-inch drywall on the inside because this is residential. Commercial, we would be using 5/8 inch drywall, but residential, we can use the 1/2 inch. The outside on the 2x6 has the exterior sheathing, and then it has the wood siding. So these are all the different layers looking at it in plan view. If we go up to the top where the house is, you can click on the house, and it will give you just a quick look at what our nice little rectangle looks like with our wood siding. I'm going to go back to the first floor plan. I'm going to click on one of these walls, and I just want to go to the edit type over here in the properties. Just want to show you around a little bit. So we can actually change things in the structure of this wall. Just because it's a default wall that it's built into the template that we chose, we can change things. So we could go to the structure edit button, and within here it shows you all of the layers within that wall that's built into the Revit program. So it shows you the thicknesses, it shows you the materials. You can even click on the materials and it shows you these 3 little dots right here. We could go to that and it goes to another box and other options, ton of different materials, again, built into this Revit program that we could choose from, and we can manipulate what the template is and save it within this project. It won't save it for future projects, but it'll save it for this project particularly. So you can go to the edit type and we can edit different things within the wall structure. At this point in time, you can save this drawing and you can submit to me literally just these exterior walls to the week 2 part 1. Week 2 part 2 is going to be the interior walls, and I'm just going to show you that real quick before my time is up on this video. You go to architecture, we go to wall architecture. Oh, come on. And I want to use the 4.5 inch partition wall. That will give us a 2x4 stud, which is what we want to use, and our 1/2 inch drywall on each side. So use the 4.5 inch. We want to make sure it's unconnected. We want to make sure our wall heights are 9 feet, set at 9 feet. The chain is on, and we're good to go. Now, I want you to use the floor plans and start trying to place the walls in using the dimensions that I've given you. Do a little freehand on the Revit, and then we can come back and we can dimension them on the next video.